Hey, what's up? This is Silver Surfer from LST 101, Lifestyle Training 101.com, and we are going to talk about buying opportunities when the market has already gone up a lot. So that's actually something that has happened recently. We did buy here at 44.05, for example, in the NASDAQ, and we sold 44.64. The question is, when the market has already gone up a lot, like how do you still buy, and can you still buy, should you buy high and then sell even higher? Of course, you always want to buy low and sell high, but sometimes the market, if it extends and you don't get in, you're going to miss out huge. But at the same time, if you buy and it dips, then you're at a loss. So we're going to look at this opportunity, and this is basically the pattern that we look out for. We ideally look for that for support, and there should be several opportunities to buy in, assuming this pattern plays out. And that is after a huge wave three, an extension, somewhere in that third wave extension, there's a fourth wave kind of consolidation, and that generally gives you a clue as to where that fourth wave support is. And the first time is when it retests it in that fourth wave, and again, it retests it at the bottom of the C wave, and potentially again in the bottom of the wave 2 of that fifth wave. And even after that fifth wave, it could drop and break the bottom of wave 4 in a wave 2 before reversing up. So there's three opportunities highlighted here, but there also could be a fourth in after this fifth wave completes. If this is entire wave 1, that would be a wave 2. And then if we consolidate and move up, that would be a wave 3. And so that's what I'm leaning towards in this wave count. After this wave 1 to third wave extension, within that third wave, we had this kind of consolidation fourth wave. And then we had an A wave test here, B wave bounce, a C wave test here, and then in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, the 5, I expected it to go towards 2110. All right, so the fact that it just barely broke over the 2105 and hit like 2106 and then reversed on that 8:30 Friday report, well, it's, I ideally wanted to see it go higher. So that's one thing that I'm cautious about. However, the fact that it, if you look at all these dips, it spent no more than 1 hour in this support region, this 2085. Right, so it spent no more than 1 hour here, no more than 1 hour here, no more than 1 hour here. So each time, and also for here, so every time it goes into this support region, it's almost like a trampoline effect. It goes in there and it bounces up, goes in there, it bounces up. It just keeps doing it. At the same time, there's resistance. Like, this resistance has been here for all of 2015 and half of 2016. So yeah, breaking this 2105, 2110 resistance is going to be really hard. And the only way you can kind of gather enough juice to break through it is probably after a second wave and then a third wave. So we are positioned to potentially break it. Now, we don't know if wave 2 is complete. It could be an A, B, and then a C into, like, say, 2075 before that third wave goes up. It's possible. So we'll see what happens during Sunday night, whether it consolidates or it drifts down. But if this wave 1 is complete and we're in the process of wave 2, what would follow next is wave 3. Now, you might think, how is that possible? Is that, you think might be crazy? This S&P 500 chart, let's zoom in on the daily chart. So here we are looking at 2016. I'll zoom in even more. Okay, here we are. So, so we have from the bottom of middle of May, we have 1, 2, 3, ABC 4, fifth wave up, and then potentially a wave 2 down, and then slowly reversing. Now, look at how this pattern is similar to the bottom of this ABC pattern, right? So we have huge 3, 4, 5 that finishes wave 1. Wave 2 just took like a day and a half to go from here to here, and then it quickly reverses. Now, if this quickly reverses and actually breaks to new highs, then we could see something similar happening. So this would be like wave 1, 2, and then 3 would go up. In the same way that here we have 1, 2, and then 3 went up. It's possible that we break 2105, maybe 2110, pull back towards the 2099, 2100 region, kind of like the way it pulled back here, and then kind of take off from there. So that's what I'm eyeing right now for, next week. I would have to see, this happen within the next 5 days in order to have confidence that that's a pattern. If that does not happen, it could be that, something else is playing out and we could kind of break the 2070 support region and then go further lower. So it really depends on what happens in the next couple of days. But right now, I'm looking at this as a potential break of the new highs. And with the NASDAQ, here's what I see on ABC. And then the fifth wave, technically did not breach the top of 3. But the wave 2 did breach the bottom of wave C of 4, and then we did reverse. So it really depends on how strong this reversal is. If we turn back down, then we have an ABC and then turn around. So also one interesting thing to note is, if you look closely here, basically that when that 830 report came in, it dropped from 2105 to 2091. That's 14 points. It then bounced to 2097 at the market open, and from 2097 it went to 2083. So that's another 14 points. So it basically got an A equals C kind of ratio. And so the way I see it is, if you have an A equals C that perfectly coincides with 2082.75, which is the bottom here, and it just happens to break bottom of 4th wave support by a little bit, everything looks like it's a wave 2. If you go to this daily chart prediction from a while back, so far it's fairly close. We have a third wave up above the 2100 region, a fourth wave pullback, and a fifth wave that went basically to 2106, and then a pullback to 2083, 2082.75. Right, that's what this pullback is. And what I'm so far this is close to what we have, and then what I'm hoping for next is this upward pattern. So we'll have to see if that actually plays out. So the strategy going forward is basically just to hold on to our 2086 entry and hope that we consolidate near the 2100 region and see if we push up. We're gonna have to push up this week, otherwise this pattern fails to work out. As for the metals position, I said, if you saw the other video, that this is a very good long-term position, and it's actually I don't think it's too late to add if it's a long-term position, and if you're willing to take some temporary pain in the short run if it dips, because I think that metals are very good positions for the long run, especially the miners. For silver, miners could be SILJ. You also have SLVP, and for gold you have the GDX, the nuggets. Those are the crazy ones. Now, if we look at the Russell, the thing about the Russell, the wave 2, ideally I want to see wave 2 drop below the bottom of wave 4. It did not in this case. So it makes me wonder whether there's still more downside to the Russell. I'm not sure. It could be an ABC before it turns up. So we'll have to see what happens overnight. If there is a possibility that Russell would fall down. If instead it consolidates into Monday, and then there's a good chance that it'll just drift up. But going back to this chart, I think this chart is useful to reference in the future. You basically have a third wave extension, and if you're looking to buy after it's already gone up a lot, these are kind of like the things to look out for. This is the general support area. If for whatever reason it breaks below this support area, then something else is playing out. But this is where you would find low risk buying opportunities. You don't want to be buying at the top of 3. You don't want to be buying up here or at the top of B, which is like a fake out, because then it turns back down. Like this support region, in this case the 2080s, mid 2080s, even upper 2080s would be the best place to buy or rebuy in this pattern. That's it for now. I'm gonna end off with just a few inspirational quotes. Yes, we always want to do constant education and practical learning, and always stay humble. The market will always find ways to humble you, and you always want to be on top of your education and understanding of what kind of risk you're taking for every trade. And yeah, sometimes you have to go against what everybody else is saying. Right now, everybody's saying short. Well, we really have to break the 2070, 2080 support region in order for that to be a high probability. Right now, the probabilities favor the bulls. And lastly, try not to overtrade. I made this mistake on Friday when we had that wave 2 drop, and I had a profitable position, but then it basically wiped out the gains that I had, and temporarily went negative, but then reversed back up. So the idea is, if you have conviction in the wave pattern, hold on and trade less. That's the best way to make more. That's it for now. Signing off, this is Silver Surfer, and I'll see you guys next time.